Hi, so I felt the Lord pressing it on my spirit to do this video a few days ago, but I just wanted to film it now, I guess. So, first off, I just want to say thank you to everyone that has been watching my videos. I appreciate it so much. I hope that I am creating content that is valuable to you, is helping you in some way, is ministering to you in some way. And I just thank you for everyone that has subscribed. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. If you do enjoy any of my videos or they've helped you in some way, if you would want to share it in any way with anyone you know, I'd really appreciate it. But thank you so much for listening and tuning in. I really appreciate it so much. So today I wanted to do a video on those times where you just feel completely alone. Maybe you have times in your life where you feel like everyone has turned their back on you, or you have felt betrayed, or you have reached out to people and watched people ghost you or drop out of your life. So I wanted to talk about this as someone that understands what that is like personally and how hard that can be and how painful it can be. So, first off, I just want to say if anyone is going through this, I'm really sorry because I know how hard it can be, and I'm really sorry that you may be feeling that way if you are going through this. And I hope once I figure out how to get comments up here, I hope that you know that you can comment on things you're going through and share those things. Or I hope that these messages remind you that you are never alone, and not only have I felt that way before, but that the Lord is with us in everything that we are going through. So in those times where you feel like everyone has turned their back against you, Jesus never will. When you feel like everyone has abandoned you, God's word, in God's word, Jesus says, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. When you feel like everyone's against you, Jesus never is. And I know sometimes it can be hard to understand that because we go through different things in our life and we can feel like the Lord was okay with it. But I just want to say, and it took me a really long time to understand that when people are tearing you down, when people are hurting you, that's not the Lord. The Lord is the one that wants to build you up and encourage you and show you His love for you. The love that is constant and eternal and unconditional and unfailing, no matter how people may treat us. And when you feel like you have no one, God is always there. God is always there waiting. I understand sometimes in these times in our life, we can't just snap our fingers and have people in our life or just those circumstances essentially to change. I understand you can go through years of your life where you feel alone, where you feel like you have no one, or you feel like people are repeatedly hurting you. And I want to say, I hope you know that if you are going through that or you have been through that, that sometimes we can, if you're like me, you can feel like you're the common denominator in that. And it can make you feel like it's something about you, and that's why people are treating you that way. And it can make you feel like no one cares about you. So I hope you know that even if you're being treated that way right now, or if you have experienced that in your life and it has cut really deep, that even if you may not have people in your life like that right now, or haven't had that in your life, that you know that there are people that care about you, and there are people that love you, and that they are out there. They do exist, even if you feel like that is all you've known. I hope you know that. And like I said, I hope you know that I care, and there's a reason that I say, I hope you're doing good at the end of like all my videos, because I really truly do hope you're doing all right, and I really do care about how you're doing and what you're going through. And I hope, if anything, these videos can minister to you in some way, the way the Lord has used all of this to minister to me. And they can remind you that you are not alone in the things that you're going through, the things you're feeling. So one day, I was thinking about Jesus, and this was really huge for me to really understand at the time. So often in our lives, we may look for someone that understands that feeling, or understands what it's like to go through betrayal, or to when we may feel abandoned, or we may feel like we have no one, or when we have felt like everyone has been against us, or just people that have dropped out of your life, or just when you feel like you have no one to reach out to, or you feel like no one cares. Sorry, my eyes itchy. Jesus understands this, all of this, more than anyone, more than any human. Jesus was mocked by his own creation that he came to this earth to die for, his own creation that he loved so much that he sacrificed his life for, so he could be with him forever, and so he could bring them home to heaven to be with him one day. Jesus was mocked. Jesus was beaten. Jesus was spat on. Jesus was pierced. Jesus was betrayed. Jesus was denied. Jesus was delivered into the hands of crucifixion. And Jesus, it even says in the Bible, it talks about there was darkness all over the land as he hung on the cross in blood. And Jesus cried out with a loud voice, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?" There may even be times in our life where we have felt forsaken by God. I understand we go through different circumstances that are extremely painful. Jesus, God's only begotten Son, knew what it was like to feel forsaken by his Father as he hung on the cross, bleeding for the sins of the world. And Jesus also knew what it was like to feel completely betrayed by people, by the very people he loved, right? His creation. Even as Jesus was praying, and I believe it was the Garden of Gethsemane, it talked about how his soul was in anguish. He was sweating, knowing the death he would face. And he prayed that the cup would pass from him, but he said, nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done, Father. And he did that out of his love for us, out of his immense love for us. But as he was praying, it talked about his own disciples couldn't even stay awake to pray with him and for him. They were falling asleep, even though Jesus literally was going to be crucified soon. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what you have been through. But if you feel like no one understands, if you feel completely alone, I hope that you can be reminded that Jesus understands. He understands what it's like to feel like you have no one, to feel like everyone has turned their back on you and against you. He knows what it's like even to feel like God forsook him. He knows all those feelings. And I hope you can be reminded that in the loneliness that you may be feeling, that the Lord is with you, that He is truly right by your side, that He died so that not only could He live with you in heaven, but that you could receive His Holy Spirit, that there would never be a moment where He would ever be away from you, that He wants to be with you in everything that you are going through, that He wanted to be with you forever. So even right now in the circumstances that you may be feeling, even right now in the pain you may be feeling, even right now in that feeling you may be feeling where maybe you feel like people have betrayed you, maybe you feel like you have no one, that He wanted to be with you in everything. He wants to be with you right now in this moment when you feel like you have no one. And remind you that you have Him, that He loves you, that He is with you, that you are never alone, that He understands what it's like to feel betrayed. And He understands it to the utmost degree, more than any person. And God is not the person looking down on you when you feel sad, making you feel like, you should just be fine or you should just be happy. No, God, He is the place where all our emotions are welcome. There's just space for our pain, even our questions, our experiences that feel like they have no answer or explanation. And I was reading in the book of First Kings earlier yesterday, and it talked about Elijah, and Elijah was at a widow's house, and her son ends up dying. And I find it really interesting because, Elijah was a prophet of God. He's literally a prophet of God. But yet Elijah, asked the Lord, did you bring evil on her son? He's questioning that, and he was a very prophet of God. I know a lot of the time we're taught as Christians not to have questions, and to think of God in a certain way. And I also know the different human realities and experiences that we go through in this life. And sometimes there are questions, and sometimes it feels like there's no answers or explanations. And I'm really deeply sorry if you're going through that right now. But I want you to know that you can bring it to God. Or if you have felt forsaken by God, that Jesus felt that you can bring him whatever you're feeling. And just be completely honest with him. And it's so therapeutic and cathartic and even healing for us to bring all that stuff honestly before God. But I find that so interesting. Elijah, who was a prophet, literally was wondering that. I don't believe God is upset at us or mad at us when we wonder why certain things happen, or we see so much pain and suffering in the world. I believe the Lord, his heart breaks with ours. When you go through things in this life that have been so painful, he is crying with you. His heart breaks with yours. But I hope you know, if you feel like you have no one, or you feel like you have no one to reach out to or talk to, or you're really struggling right now, and you feel like you have no one, that Jesus is right there, waiting to love you, to embrace you. When you feel completely alone, when you feel like you have no one. And I hope if you feel that feeling where you feel like nothing can make you feel better, nothing can help you, to understand that I've felt that way. And I felt like nothing can make the pain better, or felt completely overwhelmed. But I've seen God do the miraculous in my life. To even just bring me to a place where I can sit in front of a laptop and talk about this. And it has been His love, the power of His love, that has done that in my life. And so if you feel like you don't have anyone, I want you to be reminded that He is there, that He loves you, that He's not the voice that wants to hurt you the way people have or tear you down, but He wants to build you up. He wants to encourage you in words of love. He wants to remind you that you are eternally loved forever, that you are held forever in His arms, that He will never leave your side. And I hope that if you are feeling this way, going through this, that you would just feel God's love for you, that you would just feel His invitation, feel His love calling you, and that He wants you close to Him. Maybe you feel like no one has wanted that from you. He wants to be with you. He wants to be close to you, to lead you, to guide you, to love you, to help you. And I hope if you feel like you have no one, that you can talk that truth deep into your heart and know that, and know the love He has for you that is eternal, that is secure, that will never fail or fade from you. And that He is right there with you. No matter what you're going through, He's right there with you. He's right here with us in this very moment. And I really hope if you are going through this, that you know that you are loved. You know that you are cared about. Truly. And I really hope and pray that if you are struggling with anything, that things would get better for you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this message can help you in some way. And I hope you would just be reminded when you feel completely alone that God is always right there. Even when it feels like people have turned their back, that He is there in every circumstance, every situation. He is right there with you, by your side. So I hope you are doing all right, and thank you so much for watching.